Hey guys, it's Bianca Sophia. Now this is going to be a transcript from a star seed, from a regression, like when you do a regression and your higher self takes over and brings you to different experiences and incarnations you've had. This is going to blow your mind, especially with what I've been talking about, and you'll see how the puzzle pieces fit together. And keep in mind, or remember that wall that I spoke about behind my bed, the wall with all the black holes or portals, whatever they were. This is crazy. Listen. Ring of fire. These are rings. These bubble-looking things are rings. The first thing coming to mind is that this is the ring of fire. And what these are, it's like when we collapsed into density and we separated into the membranes, there was a ring of fire we passed through in the wall in time. That's what this is. It is some kind of, I don't want to say Stargate. It's not that. It is something likened to a time portal. Is this ringing any bells, you guys? I swear this is exactly what I see on my wall. Okay. But it's a different construct. It's like a membrane opening between the wall of time. Okay, the membrane between the wall of time, between the next universe. What we are starting to understand is the creation of fields of the universal cycles. The cosmic day. There is an understanding that from the center point of the God matrix, the source energy, many different creations were spawned in mathematical perfection and formulation, and these themes were created in these cosmic days of God. What I'm looking at here is something very difficult to describe, but is the construct that we're connecting to now, which was literally the passing through the ring of fire, or the passing through the wall in time. And this membrane thing that I'm looking at is not a dimension as we know it. It is something I have yet to really discover a word for. As we have discovered through working with membranes and collapsing the different levels of the dimensional time-space matrix in terms of timelines. This is not that. Yet, the closest thing I can connect it to is a wall in time. It looks like a nebula almost. It's an opening in between the universes and the wall of time. However, the structure that was created is unknown at this time. It is something that has been a part of the lack of structural integrity through the universal time fields. I'm not quite sure how that relates to a weakness in the universal structure that had at some time been created. It's like we passed through the wall of time. Whatever this opening is a part of the linkage between the multiple universes. I'm not feeling this is the galactic core. It is a link, or it's a rip, or it's an opening between the universal creations, but it's not linking at the core. It's like we came here at one level to attempt to understand what this is. It's not a black hole. It reminds me of something that I experienced earlier this year when I started to see the transharmonic pillar and the shoot of this wormhole type of structure. And this structure, while you were inside it, was like being in the thickest, most unexplainable plexiglass that you'd ever been in. It was the strangest thing because I was inside this and it could pull me up and down. I could travel in it, and yet looking through it, I could see beings, and they were saying, "Take me with you, don't leave me here." So I understood that this was some kind of portal in and out of here that other vibrational genetic life forms are not able to attain from whatever genetic damage or reason. That being has had an experience and gotten stuck in whatever time space it's in. And somehow this thing that I'm looking at, this wall in time, has created some kind of a vibrational mass that is similar. It's creating a split. It's creating a wall. It's creating an inability to pass through. And right now I don't understand why. It is like a slice of some kind of material in the universe that has come through and just, I see, okay. This was the damage from Lyra. This was the damage from some planetary explosion. Okay, we're going back into one of the first stair steps into this cosmic day, meaning that this was one of the creational experiences we had in this particular universal structure. This is going back billions of years. This has to do with Lyra, Vega, and what's known, I believe, as Aramatana. There were 3 planets that were there, that were within. I want to say this solar system. This is getting the information to assimilate and see how this comes together. 2 suns. We had 2 suns. This was a time where we had 2 suns. Somehow I'm seeing an orbit with 2 suns. And that was in this universe, that was in this structure. This was before this structure imploded on itself and became separate. A planetary body exploded, and the logos and sentient consciousness of that being was projected into part of the realm. This has to do with the lineage of Ra, and this is a Rishi level of consciousness. That is the light of the 1,000 suns. Oh my gosh, you guys, didn't I mention that before? Okay, this is a consciousness that the closest I can come to even understanding this would be the God, the sun. Like the consciousness of the sun, basically. Some event has created an explosion at that level. Oh my God. At that timeline. Oh my God. This system was made of 2 suns, and one of the suns exploded. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is just really hitting me, guys. Okay, let me calm down. Oh wow, okay. Okay, calm down. Some event has created an explosion at that level, at that timeline. The system was made of 2 suns, and one of the suns exploded. This is the metaphor between the Son of God, and what I'm getting is the original metaphor of the Luciferian light and the light of Source are coming from this. This consciousness, this sun exploded and became reversed upon itself. Are you kidding me, you guys? Are you fucking listening to this? I'm like getting really emotional. Oh my God. I feel like Michael crying within me. I swear I can like feel him crying. It's like him crying. Because I've read this before and I went through all this already. I've cried through all this already. And here I go, crying again. Okay, but it is different this time because like what I've awakened to, what I know now, right? It's like, it is emotional. It's making me very emotional now. But that's probably why the first time I was bawling my eyes out when I read this, right? Sorry, you guys. Let me stay on topic. Okay. This consciousness, this sun exploded and became reversed upon itself. I don't want to use the word polarized because it's not accurate. It's literally like it became the negative. As it exploded, it went through a black hole and it reversed on itself. And now you had 2 separations. You had the sun on one side over here, and you had a black hole now on the other side. And that black hole used to be a sun. Oh man. Now, for whatever reason, as we're looking at this, again, it's hard to articulate. I don't want to place judgment or slant in looking at this. Is it the divine plan? The fragmentation of consciousness and the experience we had there? That's fine, but it's understanding that now we are coming into the healing of the split of the 2 suns. Oh my God, you guys, this is too much. Understanding that the 2 suns, it's like the Son of God, but the sun itself, the sun of all light, the soul, right? The soul, S-O-L, and soul, S-O-U-L. This is a consciousness, which is very hard to wrap around at a human level because it isn't human. It's a consciousness. It's a God. It's a God consciousness. And it is that of the great central sun. It is that which feeds all life. Something blew up in the time of Lyra. Something was destroyed in the time of Lyra. Lyra was a planet, Vega was a planet, and Aramatana was a planet. In the 3 planets, something happened. One of these planets exploded. I think it's Lyra, is that correct? Okay, so when this exploded, this thing that I'm looking at, this opening, this nebula, this ring, is where it went. Excuse me. This is an opening. It's like looking at a suction cup. Wait a minute. This is reminding me. So hold on a second. Didn't I talk about a suction cup before? What was it? Oh my God, this is going to drive me nuts. Okay, I'll have to look into that later, but there's a suction cup something. I swear. Okay, let me go back. Maybe one of you guys are like, no, but I don't. But I swear I mentioned a suction cup before. No, not the one with the octopus. This is something else. There's something there. But okay, this is an opening. It looks like it's like looking at a suction cup, basically. A really long spiral that went in the reverse direction instead of the other direction. It became the negative of itself because it was like inside out. And somehow this happened through an explosion. How and why this explosion was caused is kind of a mystery. But what I'm seeing is that the cause of this universe, in terms of its mechanics and structure, the wall in time, that is the split, was created from this original event. This universe became, I want to say, special. Because it seems at the time when this was witnessed from whatever level of consciousness we can imagine to ascertain this, something that had never happened before happened. Excuse me. And so, in a sense, we could say, even though much experience and levels of fragmentation and distortion happened through this explosion and split through the wall of time, it's like looking at this original seed event. It's understanding what I'm seeing in this, the link of all fractal time-space in the seed, and the original seed and spark of creation of this universe, is that the same thing happened to the Earth at the same time this went on. It all happened at once. So, when we understand that the fifth dimensional counterpart of planet Earth imploded on itself and exploded into the third dimension as we know it, with the 12 planets in the system, this is a micro-level manifestation of this event that I'm describing, which is what they're basically attempting to show us here. Because remember, this is me coming in. Remember, everything's happening at the same time. Remember, we're multidimensional, so it's all happening now, right? Damn. This is crazy. Okay, this is the understanding of how this universe began. Do I want to say in polarity? This word does not seem adequate, but I do not have a word to replace it. The two suns separated, and these light projections manifested in the cycles of time as we experience it now. Oh man. The next part is Ra is one. A part of what is being relayed here is that as you hold universal body consciousness, this is another level and layer of healing, of return, of joining, of sacred marriage. That is a part of the universal structure that is the healing of Ra consciousness. Okay, what they are showing me is that the tone, the sound tone vibration of Ra is one. Excuse me. The Ra spirit as one spirit. The oneness is a lineage and orientation that is not of this universe. It is originated from another creation, another universal time space. This Ra, one spirit, this level of consciousness, which is very hard to fathom at the level we are speaking, created this universe. And the one spirit of Ra segmented, exploded, something went on, and the two suns split into this, what I'm seeing here, this wall of time. This wall in time is beginning to merge and heal. I think the reason why we're seeing this is they are showing us the relevance of all time and space, of all that we've been going through, the planes, in order to get to this. It's like individual, planetary, solar, galactic, cosmic, universal. We are dealing with, at least in your body at this moment in time. Okay, they are verifying this. So your body has, of course, the genetic ability and agreement to heal and merge universal consciousness levels of this rip through the fabric of time, this rip through the wall of time. This apparently was originally, when did this happen? Does anybody really know? When we talk about how this system became polarized, how did this rip through time happen? Oh my God, okay. This also seems to have gender applicability. How the hell did I even read that one? I don't even know. I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to read that word. But see, I feel like Sophia's coming through. Okay, so this created a lot of different possibilities, I would say, in the realm of creation. But this is a part of the pairs of opposites that were created. I see. All of this has to do with polarization and the alchemy into form as we know it. Apparently, in this time space, that what is happening with your particular body right now is universal levels of merging and healing the rip through the wall in time. And this is like a ring of fire. It is like a ring. I can't really describe it that well. I am sensing and I'm feeling it. Hopefully you can sense and feel this too. But it is an opening that ripped the fabric of this universe. When this happened, tremendous amounts of fragments and consciousness got splayed and sprayed into all kinds of pieces. I don't even know if this is the right word, but unknown spaces. Lyran elders and human prototype. This is so ancient, this is so old, that so much of the creation that has gone off in these spaces has forgotten what it is and what it's doing. So it's not just about the human consciousness level of what the human being is endeavoring to do, but understanding that it is the human being, the prototype of the human being. Because what I'm seeing is the lineage of the beings that were androgynous and were a part of the Lyran. I want to say Lyran elders, Lyran Syrian, the Lyrans. I'm getting are like one of the ancient levels of consciousness. I don't even know, do they have form? I think later incarnations. I think this is like shape-shifting sheets of light. It's not really even a form, but they are referring to it as Lyran because it was around the Lyran timeline in which the Lyrans were a part of the creators of the human race. I don't know if they collaborated with the Seraphim or if they created the Seraphs. Wow. But this is around the Lyran time cycle. Now, you guys, this is really making me like, I'm getting really emotional. This is crazy. It's so hard because relative to time, it doesn't make any sense. It's old, and the issue that they are trying to impress upon us now is that hole, that rip, that thing that is a ring of fire that I'm seeing is what is merging into your body. They are showing me that the Lyrans created human beings. This prototype that we are in was designed to heal the rip. The only place this can be done is in the bodies we inhabit now. Wow. Is this blowing your mind as much as mine? That is the understanding that these bodies genetically can do this. What's happening now is that we are being revealed into understanding some of the greater or larger universal purposes of the human being creation. And in subsequent dimensions, as dimensions exploded out, and these fragments of consciousness forgot all about this. There were wars over the human being. They are showing me that even ascended masters, the beings that had some levels of awareness of what was going on with this planet, didn't even understand some of these larger reasons as to why the human being was created. It was like all of this conflict and warring was being created from misunderstandings, the inability to understand the truth, and that without us, there would be no universe, basically. Whatever was going on, they weren't getting this. They weren't understanding this. They're showing me that around the Orion Wars, what started to happen is that there were creations. There were beings that were feeling humanity was being played a favorite. Like these beings, they are new and they're getting all of this preferential treatment. It's a very simplified way to say it. But there was a strange level with all this warring and conflict over humanity, over this new body that had been created by these creator god progenitors of the human race. And it was because nobody was understanding what the purpose was. That the only way we could return back into the source creation without just closing down the universe, which is something that is done. So I'm going to stop there for now, you guys. Isn't this interesting? I'm going to go on to reading this because I can't. This is awesome, right? I love how she just said, this person that was doing a regression was shown all this, and like how it seems like maybe the Lyrans created the Seraphs, right? The Seraphim, And it's like, but aren't I doing that now? Like, it's like happening now though, right? With the stuff that I'm experiencing now, what's going on, right? Like, I'm turning these reptiles into angels, right? Well, we're merging back to being seraphim, right? And I told you, I don't know if I'm a fucking cat or if I'm a fucking snake, but I'm both apparently, right? But I do have Lyran, I'm a Lyran starseed. That's in my chart and everything, right? Like, and I had that lion being visit me when I was a child, you know? So, I don't know, you guys. This is crazy, right? So it's like, I don't know if I'm being, it's like, this whole time space thing it's really confusing, right? Because like it's like, you know what I mean? Help. What is this? This is just crazy, but it's so fucking good, isn't it, you guys? Oh my God, I love this shit. I fucking love this shit. And I'm gonna go on. I'll keep going and show you and keep it on. And you guys, remember the video I made about Metatron, right, and James Rink and their connection, and how Sophia came through to talk to him, and she said about her heart imploded. Her heart imploded when Terra, right, the core of that planet imploded, right, and that's what this woman is talking about, right? Oh my gosh. So that implosion happened, right? And the fall happened. But then also, remember also my other video where my human twin was floating above me, and then my heart felt like it exploded, and then all those sparks were flying out of my body, right? And then that's when Archangel Michael showed up. And that's supposed to be him in the future, right? So my twin human disappears during this explosion, and then the next day, Archangel Michael appears and says he's my twin in the future. Like, what is going on? And she's just saying the stuff, like how we're healing all of this is through the inside of our body. Because remember, we're inside out, right? So it's like the universe is literally inside of us. And I think I think everyone is going through the same thing, but at a different level, right? Because as above, so below, right? Oh my gosh. And we just like live life after life going through the same thing, but in like a different way. But now, and then it's like, and now we're going through those same timelines and healing those timelines. Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's so good, right? All right, well, that's all for now, you guys. I'm trying to get this next one out because this stuff is so good, and I totally forgot about this. So yeah. Oh, and I have to give credit to Lisa Renee. This is her work. This was a regression done either by her or someone that she knows. But I do have to give her credit. Lisa Renee, I love her. Can you tell I'm excited? I was just listening to this back, and I'm like barely able to breathe. I'm like, and like, because it's like, so good. All right, you guys, I love you. Swords up. Damn it. No. Shields up. Swords up. Let's get it.